Hello, everybody. We have Darlene Lancer talking to me on Zoom today, and she is the author of Dating, Loving, and Leaving a Narcissist. And the title alone is intriguing. I had so many questions about it because in my research, I found so many victims slash survivors that had a lot of danger. You know, they used the word danger in there. And I wanted to see what you had to say about that and tell me all about your book as well.
Oh, thank you. Well, on the internet, you only hear about the worst case scenarios. And a lot of writers are talking about, they're really describing a malignant narcissist or a sociopathic narcissist, and they're the most dangerous types of all. But there are other people that are living and married to narcissists, and their symptoms are more mild. And sometimes, often they contact me and they want to know how to stay in the relationship. So there's, even if you want to leave, your self-esteem is usually so beaten down, and your autonomy and sense of individuality and self-worth gets degraded living with someone who has to be the most important person in the world and ignore your needs, who's not empathetic. And whether you want to change the balance of power in the relationship, which is what I write about, is like how to do that. Or if you want to leave, you have to take the same steps to rebuild your confidence and start taking back your power. That means building your self-worth, setting boundaries, having interests outside the relationship. People don't notice, or they may not be aware of the covert narcissist. They're more inhibited. And that's what your film is about, right? Covert narcissists. Yeah.
It is.
So they can be dangerous not because their behavior is more threatening, but because they can be harder to notice. Because they're not so, they can be charming too, but they're not usually seeking the attention and to be this center of everyone's eye, like a grandiose narcissist. That's the exhibitionist. But the covert narcissist is more inhibited. It's lesser known. They're also referred to as the inhibited or closet or vulnerable narcissist, because they come across as more vulnerable. They may be more open, more anxious, shy, instead of bragging about themselves, they feel like they're misunderstood, mistreated. They play on your sympathies, but they can be just as obnoxious and shameless. And they have the same traits that narcissistic personality disorder requires. So they lack empathy. They think they're special. They want admiration. They have a sense of entitlement. So those are some core features. So,
you had mentioned that you had people talking to you about wanting to stay in the marriage or stay in the relationship. The term gray rocking came up in my mind. And is that a tool?
Well, it's interesting. I wrote a blog called the payoff and the price of gray rocking. So if you do that, and what that means for those of you listeners who don't know, it's like you don't give any feedback. The narcissist wants attention and admiration, or they want to engage you in an argument, and that's all for power. That's their primary motive, because that's how they keep safe. It's not necessarily just to control you, which they want to do, but it's because they feel so insecure that they have to be in control and they have to have power. So rather than argue with them, which I don't recommend, but just not give them any just yes or no answers. And don't even try to dress up for them, or don't try to please them. Don't try to get their attention. So you want to be gray, and like a rock.
Every time I talk to a therapist or a coach or a psychologist or whoever, I always learn something new, and I sure learned something new today. So I was wondering, could you tell us about where to order the book and any information about that you can share?
Sure. Well, it's paperback, and here's the cover. Can you see it?
Yes.
There. Anyway, it's on Amazon, it's in some bookstores, or you could go to a bookstore and ask them to order it. Barnes and Noble has it, and you can also get an audiobook on Google Play. You can get a PDF of it on my website, whatiscodependency.com. And I have tons of articles and interviews and podcasts and things on relationships and narcissism and codependency. Often codependents end up in relationships.